Hello everyone, I'm Tang Tang from Susan's family. Today, I'm bringing you a new design, Botanical Sensations, series, Flora Bunny Blanket, Rose version. For this electronic tutorial, you can find the pattern chart on the website, search for susud.com to access it. This blanket is divided into the central mesh fabric piece, outer frame fabric piece, strip connection, edging for the outer frame fabric piece and decorations. Just follow the sequence to crochet. Let's start with the central mesh fabric piece. I'll first explain the crochet method for this piece. Later, I'll cover various situations you might encounter during the crochet process. For now, watch my demonstration. Then you can refer to the pattern chart while crocheting. Now, let me introduce the crochet method for the fabric piece. The piece uses the diagonal method. The work piece is made using the diagonal method, working back and forth in rows. It is divided into two sections, the increasing section and the decreasing section. In the middle, we continuously add new yarn and change colors. This helps to create the corresponding pattern. After completing the main part, we will crochet the edging. The stitches used include chain stitch, double crochet, and slip stitch. Please watch my demonstration. For better visibility, I'll use thicker yarn for this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn details, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Start with a foundation chain 3 stitches. Then move on to the first row. Begin with 3 chains as your starting chain. Starting from the 4th chain from the hook, pick up 1 strand on the top of each chain and crochet 3 double crochets. Here, treat the 3 chains and 3 double crochets as one pattern. In the first row, there is only one pattern. The first row is now complete. Move on to the second row. Start with a foundation chain 3 stitches. When working back and forth, you need to turn the fabric over. Turn it counterclockwise. Then pick up these 3 chains and crochet 1 pattern. Start with 3 chains to begin. At this point, the back of the chain is facing you. Pick up the corresponding highest position of the half stitch. This is the strand above the raised horizontal bar. Work 3 double crochets, 1 for each corresponding position. If you're unsure about the position, you can also count from the front of the chain. After completing these, one pattern is done. Insert the hook into the first pattern below. This is your starting point. in the large space next to it, right here. Insert the hook into the large space, and work a slip stitch. Continue with another pattern here. Chain 3 to begin. Pick up in the same hole, and work 3 double crochets. This row now has 2 patterns completed. The second row is now done. Move on to the third row. First, cast on 3 chain stitches. Then turn. Pick up in the position of these 3 chain stitches, and work 1 pattern. Here, the back of the chain stitches should be facing you. Insert the hook into the highest position of the half stitch and work. After completing it, pick up in the adjacent pattern, at the gap between the starting chain and the double crochet, which is the hole next to the turning chain. Work a slip stitch there. Then pick up in the same hole, and work 1 pattern. After completing it, continue by picking up in the gap of the adjacent pattern, and work a slip stitch. Then work 1 pattern here. Row 3 is now completed. This row has 3 patterns. You can see that. The texture of this row matches with the first row. This is the right side of the piece. The texture of the double crochets is more even. When distinguishing the right side from the wrong side later, you can refer to the texture. At the same time, the yarn tail for the starting chain should be located at the bottom right corner. Next, work on row 4. The method is the same as before. Start with a chain stitch. Then work 1 pattern. After completing it, pick up in the gap of the adjacent pattern, and work a slip stitch. Continue to crochet the second pattern. Correspondingly work the patterns in their respective positions. Work a slip stitch between each pattern for transition. Continue crocheting downward. Finish the last pattern. Row 4 is now completed. This row contains 4 patterns. Follow the chart to continue. Continue crocheting the remaining increasing section. This concludes the explanation of the increasing section. Let me explain a few situations you might encounter while crocheting the piece. These are common scenarios during the process of crocheting the fabric. I will explain and demonstrate using a small sample. First, let me explain how to join new yarn. There are 2 scenarios. Let's start with the first one, joining new yarn at the beginning of a row. Please watch the demonstration. After completing the last stitch of the edge pattern in the previous row, stretch the loop. We will thread the crochet piece through the loop. Take out the new yarn. Make a slip knot. Insert into the double crochet stitch at the edge. Draw the yarn through. Adjust the size of the loop. Chain 3 with the new yarn. Then turn the work. Begin crocheting the pattern. That concludes the explanation for changing colors at the edge. Next, I'll explain the second method for joining new yarn within a row. When you need to join new yarn in the middle of a row, please watch my demonstration. We will place the working yarn on the wrong side of the entire piece. Take out the new yarn. Make a knot. Insert the hook into the gap. Draw the yarn through. Place the yarn tail for joining on the wrong side. Then crochet 1 motif. While crocheting the motif, you can wrap the joining yarn tail around the work. That's how you join new yarn within a row. Now, I've finished explaining how to join new yarn in the middle of a row. Next, I'll demonstrate changing colors in adjacent motifs, which requires leaving yarn tails. There are 2 scenarios. Let me explain the first one. When working with a color block and its adjacent areas, either above or on the left side, where you need to use the same color yarn. Let me show you how it's done. After completing this color block, don't cut the yarn. When crocheting the next row, use this same yarn. Simply pull the yarn across and crochet the motif. Keep the working yarn on the wrong side of the fabric. Slightly tighten the previous yarn. The yarn you pull across shouldn't be too tight. For the yarn that you pull across, when crocheting the next motif, wrap it into the stitches. That concludes the first scenario. Now, let's move on to the second scenario. If the color blocks surrounding areas won't use this color. But there is a same color yarn used one motif apart on the lower left. Or the upper left. We can simply pull the yarn across and crochet. That concludes the second scenario. This completes the explanation of changing colors in adjacent motifs while leaving yarn tails. Next, let's discuss changing colors in adjacent motifs without leaving yarn tails. If the surrounding areas of this color block won't use this color, but there is a same color yarn used two motifs apart on the lower left, or further away, we can leave a 15 cm tail of yarn. Then cut it off. When crocheting the motif, reattach the yarn. Then I'll demonstrate how to hide the yarn tail after breaking the yarn. This is the method for hiding the yarn tail when changing colors. For the color change section, first, take the yarn tail and pull it out from the chain stitch above using the hook. Gently tighten it slightly. This creates a small knot. The remaining yarn tail should be woven into the back of the fabric. Make sure to weave in several stitches. If you want it to be more secure, you can take the yarn tail and divide it into two parts. Hook one part out from an adjacent position. Tie both yarn tails into a double knot. Then weave the remaining yarn tails together into the fabric. Make sure to weave in several stitches. For the other yarn tails, except for the cast-on tail, weave each of them into the fabric separately. Also, weave in the joining yarn tails. Continue to weave in several more stitches into the fabric. That concludes how to change colors in adjacent motifs without leaving yarn tails. Next, let's discuss changing colors within the same color block when motifs are farther apart, meaning there are two or more motifs between them. To make crocheting easier, you can join a new yarn in one of the areas. With one ball of yarn, you have two ends. One at the surface and one at the center of the ball. When you encounter a color that only has one ball of yarn, use the other end of that yarn to join. For colors that have multiple balls of yarn, you can use another ball to join the yarn. First, place the previous color's yarn tail on the wrong side of the fabric. Then pick up the corresponding yarn. Join the yarn accordingly. That concludes how to handle same color blocks that are far apart in a row. Next, we will crochet the decreasing section. Decrease motifs at both diagonal ends. Start by making 3 beginning chains. Turn. Join with a slip stitch in the motif below. Then crochet a motif. Continue to crochet motifs correspondingly. Keep crocheting all the way down until you finish the inner side of the last motif. Do not continue crocheting after that. Proceed with a slip stitch. This way, both the beginning and ending will have one less motif. That concludes this row. Move on to the next row. Using the same method, start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Turn over and join with a slip stitch in the motif below. Then crochet a motif. Continue to crochet motifs correspondingly. Finish by crocheting the inner side of the last motif. This completes this row. From now on, follow the method used for the first 2 rows, and continue crocheting. Keep going until you finish the last row. After completing this, the last row will have only one motif. After crocheting, slip stitch into the adjacent motif. Finally, crochet 3 chain stitches. Turn over. Slip stitch into the motif below. No need to cut the yarn after completing this. This concludes the explanation of the decreasing section. This completes the explanation of the crochet method for the fabric piece. After completing the mesh fabric piece, do not cut the yarn. Crochet the edging around the fabric piece. I'll demonstrate the method using this small sample. Start with the first round. Begin with 3 chain stitches. Then, in the gap between these 2 motifs below, make 1 slip stitch. Chain 3 as a transition. In the next gap, make 1 slip stitch. Chain 3 as a transition. Continue making slip stitches in the gaps. Follow the pattern of 3 chain stitches as a transition. Continue all the way to just before the corner position on this side. After completing 3 chain stitches, make 1 slip stitch in this corner position. Chain 3. And make another slip stitch in the same position. This completes the corner. finish crocheting this round. That concludes the first round of edging. Now, let's move on to the second round. Make one slip stitch in the left chain space for the transition. Follow the chart, and correspondingly make double crochets in the chain spaces. Note that at the corner positions, you need to chain for the connection. Finish this round. Finally, pick up the top 2 strands of the third chain from the beginning chain, and join with a slip stitch. Cut the yarn and weave in the ends. That concludes the second round. This completes the center mesh fabric piece. Next, let's learn how to make the outer frame fabric piece. It is divided into Motif 1, Motif 2, Motif 3, Motif 4, and sewing them together. First, complete each motif, and then sew them together. Let's start with Motif 1. Begin with a magic ring, and crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The new stitch techniques used include single crochet, front post double crochet, treble crochet. Please watch the demonstration. Start with a magic ring. Then, work one round. Begin with one chain stitch. Next, make 8 single crochets into the magic ring. After completing this, pull tight the yarn tail of the magic ring. Tighten the center of the piece. Then join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. The first round is complete. Now, let's work the second round. Start with one chain stitch. First, make one single crochet in the insertion point of the slip stitch. Then, chain 3. Skip one single crochet below. Make one single crochet in the next single crochet. Chain 3. Skip one stitch. We will make one single crochet. Chain 3. Skip one stitch. And consider this as one group. There are 4 groups in this round. 2 groups remain. Everyone finish crocheting them. After completing, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. The second round is complete. Continue with the third round. This round involves crocheting the first layer of petals. Start with 1 chain stitch. Crochet 4 double crochets into the left chain space. Place the yarn tail of the cast on over your hook. Weave in as you go. Chain 1. Make 1 slip stitch into the left single crochet stitch. We will consider what we have done so far as 1 petal of the first layer. This forms 1 petal of the first layer. Let me demonstrate another petal. Start with 1 chain stitch. Crochet 4 double crochets into the left chain space. Chain 1. Make 1 slip stitch into the left single crochet stitch. The second petal is now complete. Everyone, crochet 2 more petals. Finally, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. This completes the third round. The first layer of petals is now complete. Next, we will move on to the fourth round. Start with 3 chain stitches for transition. Then crochet 1 double crochet. Hook this into the space where the first round has an empty single crochet stitch. Note that you need to keep the petals on the right side. Insert the hook from the wrong side. Then chain 5. Followed by 1 double crochet. The insertion point for this double crochet is the same as before. Insert the hook from the wrong side. Pass through the space where the first round has an empty single crochet stitch. Then chain 5 again. Next, refer to the chart. Complete this round with the same entry position as the previous double crochets. Finally, join with a slip stitch into the first double crochet stitch. The 4th round is now complete. Now let's move on to the 5th round. This round will create the 2nd layer of petals. The crochet technique is the same as the 3rd round, only the stitch count differs. Start with 2 chain stitches. Work 6 double crochets into the left chain space. Chain 2. Then make 1 slip stitch into the left double crochet stitch. The first petal of the 2nd layer is now done. Everyone, complete 3 more petals. The 5th round is now complete. The 2nd layer of petals is now complete. Next, work the 6th round. Start with 5 chain stitches as a transition. Then make 1 front post double crochet. This is worked on the single crochet from the 2nd round. Yarn over once. From the wrong side of the fabric. Come out on the right side of this single crochet. And insert on the left side. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this 2 more times. The front post double crochet is completed. Next, make 7 chain stitches. This group of stitches is now complete. Let me demonstrate another group. Make 1 front post double crochet. Come out on the right side of the single crochet from the 2nd round. And insert on the left side. Yarn over and draw through. Then pull through the first 2 loops on your hook in sequence. After completing 7 chain stitches, the 2nd group is now complete. Make 2 more groups. After completing, join with a slip stitch. The 6th round is now complete. Next, we will work on the 7th round. This round involves making the 3rd layer of petals. Start with foundation chain 2 stitches. In the left chain space, work 4 double crochets. Two chain stitches. 4 double crochets. Two chain stitches. And in the front post double crochet stitch on the left side, make 1 slip stitch. The first petal of the 3rd layer is now complete. The crochet method for this round is identical to the 5th round, but with a different stitch count. Pay attention that between the 8 double crochets in the chain spaces, you need to connect with 2 chain stitches. This round is just repeating the stitch pattern of this one petal. Everyone finish it off. The 7th round is now complete. The 3rd layer of petals is now complete. Moving on to the 8th round. 5 chain stitches as a transition. 1 front post double crochet. Hook it into the double crochet from the 4th round. Still coming out on the right side. And inserting from the left side to continue crocheting. Eight chain stitches for the connection. This round is just repeating 1 front post double crochet, hooking into the double crochet from the 4th round. Followed by 8 chain stitches. Finish this round. The 8th round is now complete. Next, let's work on the 9th round. This round is for the 4th layer of petals. Start with 2 chain stitches. Then work 1 double crochet in the left chain space. One treble crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Pick up the entire chain loop. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again, then pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this 3 times. The treble crochet is now complete. Work 4 more. After completing these, make 2 chain stitches. 5 treble crochets. One double crochet. 2 chain stitches. On the left side, make 1 slip stitch into the front post double crochet stitch. We will consider the starting 2 chain stitches to this slip stitch as the first petal of layer 4. This round requires 4 petals. Everyone, make 3 more petals. When you have a few stitches left on the last petal, you can also wrap the transition chains around the crochet. Once completed, the 9th round is done. The 4th layer of petals is finished. Let's continue with the 10th round. First, on the front post double crochet from the 8th round, make 1 front post double crochet. Then, make 5 chain stitches for transition. Next, on the front post double crochet from the 6th round, make 1 front post double crochet. Followed by 5 chain stitches for transition. Complete this group of stitches. For this round, you will be working on the front post double crochets from the 8th and 6th rounds, making front post double crochets with 5 chain stitches for transition in between. Following this pattern, work the entire round according to the chart. Once completed, join with a slip stitch into the first front post double crochet stitch. The 10th round is now complete. Move on to the 11th round. This round involves making the 5th layer of petals. Start with 5 chain stitches for transition. Then pick up the 4th layer of petals. For the first petal, target the 2 treble crochet stitches on the wrong side. The 2 strands in the lower position. And pass through the stitch of the front post double crochet from behind. Make 1 slip stitch. Chain 2 to start. In the left chain space, make 1 double crochet stitch. Follow with 6 treble crochets. Two chain stitches. After completing, make 6 treble crochets in the second chain space. Make 1 double crochet stitch. 2 chain stitches. Then pick up the second petal of the 4th layer. Target the 2 double crochet stitches on the wrong side. The 2 strands in the lower position. And pass through the stitch of the front post double crochet from behind. Make 1 slip stitch. We will start with 2 chain stitches to begin. Consider the stitches up to this point as the first petal of the 5th layer. This round involves repeating the stitch pattern of this one petal. Crochet the corresponding stitch pattern in the matching chain spaces. Connect with 2 chains in the middle. Refer to the chart for your crocheting. For the last chain space of this petal, make sure to wrap the transition chains together as you crochet. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the same position where you started. The 11th round is now completed. The 5th layer of petals is also completed. The crocheting method for the 12th round is similar to that of the 10th round. The front post double crochet stitches in the 12th round are worked into the front post double crochet stitches from the 10th round. The crocheting method for the 13th round is similar to that of the 11th round. You need to pick up 2 strands of yarn from the 5th layer petals and crochet them together with the front post double crochet stitch behind. This completes the 6th layer of petals. Follow the previously demonstrated method and refer to the chart to crochet the corresponding stitch pattern. I have prepared this part in advance. Finally, make 1 slip stitch to secure. Leave a 10 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn. Now let's move on to the 14th round. Pick up the corresponding yarn. Join the yarn by inserting the hook under the entire front post, double crochet stitch from the 12th round. Insert the hook from right to left. Make 3 beginning chain stitches. Then make a CH6 picket stitch with 6 chain stitches. First, make 6 chain stitches. Then make 1 slip stitch in the 6th chain from the hook. The CH6 picket stitch is complete. We'll refer to this as a CH6 picket stitch from now on. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Make 1 slip stitch. This slip stitch goes into the 6th layer petals chain space. Specifically, the 3rd treble crochet from the right side. Slightly lower, hook the yarn on the back side. After completing, make 3 chain stitches. Then make 1 CH6 picket stitch. Three chain stitches. 1 slip stitch. This slip stitch goes into the 3rd treble crochet to the left of the chain space. Slightly lower on the back side. After completing, make 3 chain stitches. Then 1 CH6 picket stitch. Three chain stitches. And 1 slip stitch. This slip stitch picks up the front post double crochet from the entire 12th round. Then, repeat the previous stitch pattern. Work a slip stitch in the corresponding position. Follow the previous demonstration and refer to the chart to complete this round. For the final slip stitch, pick up the 2 strands of yarn from the edges of the 6th layer petal. And work through to the position of the first chain stitch of the 14th round on the backside. This completes the 14th round.